The Fusion Manage extension is an inbuilt tool that enables you to manage the change and release of data, giving you more control and visibility over data revisions. This is particularly useful if you have multiple design collaborators, have a need for change history audits, or need to easily establish changes during productions. The Manage extension provides a formal release process, facilitates the management of Fusion design and drawing revisions, enables collaborators to formally request a design change regardless of their location, and creates unique part numbers to differentiate designs. To purchase the Manage extension, on the application bar, click Extensions to access the available options. Here, you can also find a local partner to purchase it from and get support with the setup process. With a project open, on the Design Workspace toolbar, click the Manage tab. Here, you see 7 tools organized into 4 groups. Starting with the Assign group, the Assign Item Number tool is an automated and unique number generator used at the component or drawing level. After a number is generated, a record is created within your Fusion Manage site and is associated to the respective component or drawing. In the Release group, the Quick Release tool is used to release a component without a workflow or approval. Note that any internal components cannot be quick released, but top-level and referenced external components can. The Release with Change Order tool is a digitized, formal, and standard release to production process to help with traceability and compliance for certification purposes. In the BOM group, the Bill of Materials tool provides a structured and tabulated view of your assembly structure. It shows all relevant property data available for each component and its position in your design assembly. In the Process Management group, click Dashboard to open the Fusion Manage dashboard in your default web browser. The dashboard is a central area for your Fusion Manage information, such as charts and outstanding work. The Details tool opens Fusion Manage in your browser, taking you to the Details page for the currently selected document or component. If an item has not been assigned to your selection yet, clicking Details opens the Fusion Manage Designs workspace, where you see a list of all your items. Finally, Change Orders works like the Details tool, but for change orders instead of items. You now understand how the Fusion Manage extension makes it easy for you and your team to view and revise changes through the design process, all the way to production. To align design data within the Fusion Manage extension, you must first set up a Fusion Manage site. This site contains all of the items you are managing and is made up of 3 workspaces: Designs, Drawings, and Change Orders. Within these workspaces, each item is a unique record representing a specific part, assembly, drawing, or change order. A site is created for you when you enable Fusion Manage for your team. To do this, you must have both a Manage extension entitlement and be the owner or an administrator of your Team Hub. Note that in this example, the Team Hub is currently missing the process tag. But this will become visible after it is connected to the Fusion Manage site. Assuming you meet these conditions and have the correct team set, open any design. Then, from the toolbar, Manage tab, click one of the Manage tools. If you are an administrator on your Team Hub, you will see a dialog box where you must agree to the conditions by selecting the checkbox. Click Enable to start the data alignment process. It may take a few minutes for the data alignment process to complete. Once it is finished, data can be managed across the Team Hub. This means you can now assign item numbers to components, as well as use the Quick Release or Release with Change Order tools for a component or drawing. You may need to restart Fusion for the process management commands to become available on the toolbar. From the browser, right-click the top-level component and select Properties to open the Properties palette. Here, you can view the item number, life cycle, revision number, current state, and any related change order for the component. Click the blue item number and change order to open the respective pages in your web browser. You can also view component properties in your web browser. On the application bar, click the File menu and select View Details on Web. In the resulting browser page, click the Version History drop-down next to the component name to see its history, including version, revision, and milestone saves. Select Show Only Milestones to view only important updates. Back in Fusion, on the Manage tab, Process Management Group, click Dashboard. On the Fusion Manage dashboard, you see a customizable section for charts and a summary of change orders and items. This serves as a simplified product data management experience for viewing design and engineering management, as well as change management. Back in the Process Management group on the toolbar, click Details. Note that this command is contextual, so if the top-level component has an item already assigned, a detailed web page opens for that item. If no item exists, the Fusion Manage Designs workspace opens, with a list of all your items. You can also highlight a component in your browser, and then click Details. Again, if the component has an item assigned, a Details page opens for that item. Finally, the Change Orders command works in a similar way. If the top-level component has an active change order associated with it, a detailed web page opens for the change order. Otherwise, the Fusion Manage Change Orders workspace opens, with a list of all your change orders. While still in Fusion Manage, click the Dashboard menu and select Workspaces, Design and Engineering, Designs, to open the Design workspace. Here, you and your team can see a detailed history of all releases and lifecycle states for your designs. Click the Dashboard menu again and select Workspaces, Change Management, Change Orders, to open the Change Orders workspace. From the Item Descriptor column, click one of the change orders to view its details. The Details tab shows a summary of the change order, which is generated when the change order is created. This includes the change order number, change reason, and information on approvers and reviewers. On the Affected Items tab, you see a list of components and drawings that will be impacted by the change order. For example, a drawing might need to be updated based on a change order approval. The Approval Workflow tab contains a visual representation of the state of a component or drawing. The Attachments tab enables you to attach any documents or images to a particular change order. Finally, on the Changelog tab, you can find any activity associated with the selected change order, much like a version history for design documents. As you have seen, the Fusion Manage extension connects to Fusion Manage and enables you to use process management within Fusion for managing designs, drawings, and change orders. You can utilize the Fusion Manage extension for process management tasks, such as this example change order release. As you can see, there are several linked components that need part numbers assigned to them, and change orders need to be created for them. Instead of releasing these one by one, you can group select all those you want to release. Then either right-click and select Release with Change Order. Or, on the toolbar, Manage tab, click Release, Release with Change Order. The dialog box that opens enables you to select or deselect components for release based on your previous selection. If these selections are correct, you can click Create CO. After it processes, a form opens, where you can fill in the details for the change order. For the summary, there are 3 key pieces of information you need to enter, as denoted by the red star: the title, the approver, and the reason for change. After you type in the title, expand the Approvers drop-down. Any users who are part of your team will be shown here, and you can select multiple approvers if you wish. Next, enter the reason for change. Again, you can select from the drop-down, or you can type in a new reason. There are also optional inputs for a description and a priority level if needed. Under Team, you can add multiple reviewers if needed. And again, the drop-down list includes the members of your team. Once you have filled in the information and are ready to commit the change order, click Save. The Release dialog changes to show the item details. The first tab that you see is the Affected Items tab, which is linked to the components you selected in the browser. If you return to the Details tab, you can see the information that you just entered. Back on the Affected Items tab, you can see the part numbers that have been assigned. Click Edit. A lifecycle drop-down becomes available for each part. You can either select Release to Production or go to Pre-Production, and then an alphabetic or numerical value is assigned, respectively. If you have a large list, then you can click Bulk Lifecycle Change to change the states for multiple components at once. For this example, Release to Production is selected, and then Update. Notice that the Edit button has changed to Save. You must save any changes before moving on to another tab. Click Save. Now, all components have been released to production, and you can see that the To value has changed to an alphabetic value. Any approvers or reviewers will receive an email as such, notifying them that a change order has been released and needs their attention. To access this information, they can either use the link provided in the email, or find it by clicking Change Order on the toolbar. There are two ways the approver can progress this. They can either select from the Workflow Actions drop-down at the top, or use the graphical interface on the Approval Workflow tab. Here, there are several options, including Cancel Change, Fast Track Approval, Fast Track to Review, and Submit to Work. In this example, the components are moved to the review state. You can also add a comment if needed, and then click Submit. Now that the state has changed, the approver can either choose Approve and Close, or Return to Open, which would send it back to the approval step of the workflow. The approver or reviewer can check any comment history by clicking the clock icon at the bottom. Reviewers can also click Review to add comments of their own. Type in the comments field, and then click Submit. In this case, click the Approve and Close transition option, type a comment if needed, and then click Approve. This closes the workflow and moves it into the approved state. Again, click the clock icon. Here you can see any comment history regarding this change order. You may now notice that this is in a locked state, which essentially means this approval has been pinned to the versions that were submitted. If a user were to continue with this design, then any further changes would not be related to this approved change order. Click Close. Next, on the toolbar, in the Process Management group, click Dashboard to view the information on the Fusion Manage dashboard. At the top of the list of My Recently Viewed items, select the change order to open it. Here, you can see all the same information and tabs that were available before in the release dialog. There is also a change log that provides much more detailed information on the release order, if you need to revisit the steps that were taken. Looking at the Approval Workflow tab, you can again see that this is locked and in the approved state. The Affected Items tab also shows the same information on the parts, their lifecycle state, and revisions. Now that these components have been released and approved, return to the Design workspace to see the icons that represent a component state. There are 4 main icons that you should be aware of when working with change orders. The link icon represents a component, or linked component that has no part number or change order assigned to it. The black flag icon indicates a milestone save for any component, but again, does not have a part number or change order assigned to it. The white flag with gray background indicates that a component has had a change order processed previously, but a user is now working on a newer version. And finally, after your change order is approved, you will see this white flag with a black background icon. This tells the user that the latest design is in place, and no further changes have been made since the approval. Right-click one of these components and select History. In the History dialog, you can again see its version, milestone, and revision history, giving you a clear understanding of the part you are working with. The Fusion Manage extension enables you to apply process management to your Fusion drawings, such as this drawing for a pump assembly. Notice that the drawings are all laid out, and the BOM table is over to the left. Zoom in on it. Here, if you wanted to check the lifecycle state for any component, you would have to manually open each part and look at its history. For a simple assembly, this may not be an issue, but there is an easier way to see your component's change order status more quickly. Double-click the BOM table. A dialog of display options opens. At the bottom, the Manage Extension options include the item number, lifecycle state, revision, and current state. Select any of these to make the information visible in the BOM table. Better still, if you should ever need to update your assemblies, these changes will also be reflected in any associated drawings. This means you do not have to manually enter this data each time you make a change. You can also assign change orders to your drawings. And because of drawing attributes, this information can be shown directly and automatically in your title block. For example, zoom in on this existing title block to edit it. In the browser, right-click the title block and select Edit Title Block to enter the title block contextual environment. Remove a couple of pre-existing attributes, such as the drawing number and revision. Now, you can place some of the Manage Extension attributes. On the Title Block tab, Text Group, click Attribute. Now, with the Place Attribute icon attached to the pointer, you can click where you want to place the attribute. Click in the Drawing Number box. Then, from the Attribute dialog box, expand the Attribute dropdown and select the respective attribute you want to place. For this example, select Drawing Number. Then click Close. Repeat this process to add the revision number attribute to the title block. Then, click Finish Title Block. Once you have these attributes in place, they are now tied to this specific drawing. Click the Manage tab to create the change order for this drawing, using the exact same principles as if it were a component. Once you are finished, click Refresh to see the updated information in your drawing title block.